Here on the Coach Show with head coach Heath Autry of Corsicana Tigers. Coach, tough week last week against a very good Heritage team.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat to them. They played really good baseball, and they took advantage of some of our mistakes. But you know what? Kind of got to learn some stuff about ourselves, what we really need to work on, and we had a good week of practice. And just like you said, it was a tough week. And I told our guys, you're going to have tough weeks in life. You're going to have tough days. Things aren't going to go your way. It's about how you come back and respond. And we have a bunch of good young men. I think they've got it figured out. And we had a really good practice Saturday morning and good practice yesterday. So, I'm excited to watch the guys get back out there.
Well, I thought, on the mound you were competitive. It kept you in the ball game. Each game you had a multi-run inning you gave up. But other than that, scores were close, and you were right there deep in the game.
Yeah, that was a tough high school lineup. That's one of the better offensive lineups I've seen in the last few years. I thought we made some really good pitches when we need to. But, we made a few mistakes there, and they capitalized on it. We walked a few guys, and that's the name of the game. Corsicana baseball, what we're known for is playing good defense and not walking people. And so, we just got to keep plugging away and get our offense going.
Yeah, offensively, obviously, it was a rough week. Got shut out and no hits. So
yeah.
You've been shut out twice and no hit so far. That's not something you see in a season, let alone in a couple, 3 weeks. So.
Yeah. It hadn't happened very often over the last decade for sure. But, we've got some guys that are pressing, trying a little hard and over swinging at times and then being timid at times. And so, I talk to the guys all the time about what the game is trying to do to us and to just respect the game. And the game wants you to feel that way sometimes and wants you to try too hard and put pressure on yourself. We just need to play and have fun and play hard and just play one pitch at a time, one inning at a time.
Well, you're playing a Cobbman team that's winless so far, but they've played a lot of tight games, so it's nothing. You can't just look at that record. You look at the scores in all the games that they play; they're all right there.
Well, talking with Coach Cochran before the game, they're 0-6 in district, but they've lost 4 games in the 7th inning. So just like you said, they've been in most of the games. He said they've got blowed out twice, but they've been in there, and so I know he's a good young coach. He does a good job, and they're going to be a good team. We're going to have to play a really good offensive game tonight, get some guys on, get them over, and somebody's got to loosen up and get a big hit for us.
Well, you're due, and it'll come, and I know on the mound.
Poncho's going in tonight on the mound, and we got Easton, Jordan, we got everybody in relief. So, we're just going to do whatever it takes to win the game.
Well, it's a big week. You need to take care of business this week.
Yes,
sure.
Sir. The guys know where we're at. We sat down and told them about it. And hey, it's time to put up or shut up. And it's that time of year. We got to start going in an upward trend and playing consistent baseball.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Heath Autry, head coach of the Tigers, will be back more of the pregame show after this.
All right, we are here on the pregame show here. Rusty Hitt and Stephen Nutt, along with Adam Walthall here, producing, directing, technical directing, all the things. He's got us all in the air and got us going here. And Stephen, this is exactly the midpoint week of the season. We've had 3 series, got 3 more after this, so this is the midpoint. And if at any point during a season you would say this early, say it's a must-win, it really is a must-win for the Tigers. I think this week they got to at least split, but they really need to sweep this week.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. They're coming out hoping to get a sweep. You can't, a split. Typically, we would have liked to split last week.
Yep.
That's a team you can split with and stomach, but you got to come out and take care of business. You mentioned Cobbman 0-6, but playing some close games, so you got to come out and be ready. Looking at their lineup stuff that you see, it looks like they pitch the ball pretty well, and we've struggled the last few weeks with the real good pitchers. So you got to come out and do whatever you have to do, bunt, scratch, run, whatever you can do to get some runs. And I'd love to do that early because I think it would loosen these guys up a little bit.
Yeah, stick your elbow over the plate, something.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to find a way to get on base. And obviously we're right. If the season ended today, we're on the outside looking in. But Midlothian at 6-0, Heritage at 4-2, along with Red Oak and Ennis. So those 4 would be in. Crandall, Corsicana tied at 3-3. So outside looking in, but I went in and looked at the remaining schedules, and especially if you're looking at Red Oak and Ennis, well, they each have challenges left ahead of them. Red Oak has Midlothian, then Ennis, then us, and then Crandall, and Ennis has Terrell this week. So, but then Red Oak, Heritage, and us. So those are opportunities for us to take control of that if you take care of your business. And that's what we have to do. And it starts tonight, and it starts over here in Kaufman on a more natural surface games this season than we are used to for sure. And, field looks pretty level, but if you're out on it, there's lots of crabgrass
I noticed
spotted
that.
throughout the infield. So what does that do? I don't know. The dirt's a lot better shape than Terrell's is, but wind blowing in, another windy night here. Not helping you tonight. It's blowing in and kind of straight in. You'll hear it in our microphones all night. So, but 305's down the line, 350 in center field. So not a huge park, but that wind's going to make it play a lot bigger.
Yeah, for sure. It's if you're out here on a night when the wind's blowing out or just still, you'd be excited about that. But tonight you're still going up there just taking the approach of trying to hit line drives. And I think that coach talked about it several times that's what they been working on because guys, if you can do that, you might run into one and pull it down the line and get one out of here like Josh did over at Terrell. But basically you just got to string some hits together. We talk about hitting is contagious, but so is struggling at the plate. So it's going to be important tonight to get those going.
Going to have a moment of silence here and then national anthem. Moment of silence for a young man lost in an accident. I'm going to have the starting lineups introduced here. We'll go do those with you as well for the Tigers, and we'll be the visiting team here. On Tuesday night, Connor Perkins will start it off here and play shortstop. Easton Autry will hit second and be at third base. Josh Portillo will be behind the plate. Jordan Temez in center field. Trenton Bruton in right. Gabe Sod the DH. Walker Smith in left field. Sean Medrano is at first base. And Blake Phillips at second base. And the pitcher tonight for the Tigers will be Isaiah Miranda, the usual Tuesday nighter here in district. And then for the home team, the Kaufman Lions, leading off and playing third base is Josh Wolford. Isaiah Oliveris is at second base hitting second. Reagan Yeager is at shortstop hitting third. David Alvarez will be on the mound. Angel Montez will be in left field. Brody Burks in right. Hayden Ewing, the DH. Austin Glidewell will be in center. Jack Crutcher behind the plate. And they will hit for the first baseman, Cantu. And those are the starting lineups tonight for the Tigers and the Lions here. The Lions of Kaufman. We have not really seen them in baseball. We have been in football district in the last, say, 10 years, but in baseball, I don't think we've ever come across them.
No, I haven't seen them. I haven't been over to this stadium or field, so it's kind of a new place for us.
And the baseball field here is just at the end zone of the football field, the south end zone. And so we will have a new venue, and we are field level behind home plate. So we'll get a pretty good view of the location of the pitches here to second guess the umpire, but we can sure get a view of kind of the location range. How about that? Range. How about that? So finishing up the intros here for Kaufman, sporting the the Vandy uniforms.
Yeah, I like the cream, kind of a cream.
The Vandy uniforms.
Yeah, I like the cream, kind of a cream color white.
Much better than probably what we're going to see on Friday in the black pinstripes and the softball pants. They're going to wear those black pants as well. So
you missed the Terrell game. They were in the red pajama pants.
Gosh, those are so bad. I know what they look like, though. I know exactly what you're enjoying the view. And you can tell when Adam's here. We got 3 cameras tonight. You got the wide camera, you got the tight camera on the pitcher and the catcher, and then the tight on first base. So little classier every time he shows up. You know, we'll be home on Friday. He'll probably have like 8 or 10 cameras up for that. So we'll, you know, when it's just the 2 of us, we got one little bitty static camera. He doesn't trust us with all the good stuff. So, and rightfully so.
Yeah, we're lucky to get that going. So
he usually has to dial in from some foreign location to get us going. But sure glad to have him here tonight. Show up, and he's got everything set up, ready to go, and you know, and much better than when we do it. So.
Feels like big leagues. You
That's
just
right.
show up, do the game, and leave.
Just like Dave Raymond and Mike Bassick do. They just show up and do the game. So, all right, pitcher on the mound. Looks like he's throwing a little hard. David Alvarez, big right-hander. And, again, you've seen a lot of their Tuesday scores. They've been low scoring. All right, we are back here, and Isaiah Miranda comes out. For the Tigers on the mound, his defense will be Autry, Perkins, Phillips, Medrano in the infield, Smith, Temez, and Bruton in the outfield. His battery mate is Josh Portillo, and Isaiah looking to get it going. He'll face Josh Wolford, the third baseman, who's basically got short pants on. He's got his pants rolled up well above his knee. So, like you remember those old White Sox? You may not even been old enough to see those ugly White Sox uniforms with the shorts. There's a ground ball down the line for a base hit. It's going to go into foul territory. Wolford, he stumbles, so he will have to hold up. And a good job by Bruton getting the ball in. Probably would have been a double if he doesn't stumble coming around the bag. So a good job of first pitch hitting right there.
Yeah, great job. Turned on that first pitch and snuck it inside the baseline.
So brings up the second baseman, Isaiah Olivares. See what kind of running they're trying to do.
So Isaiah, stay hot, kid.
So no outs here in the bottom of the first. Tigers with 3 in the first. Would like to put up a 0 here. Decent lead at first. Happy feet down there, not going. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of major leaguers with the short I think Bichette maybe.
Man, it's a strawberry waiting to happen on those knees, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess everybody dives now. So. Curveball. I guess it missed. 1-1.
Maybe a little bit outside.
Yeah, I think it had a little more movement on it. Of course, it is where it goes across the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Popped him foul down the right side. Not going to be able to play that. I think it went out of play anyway, so a ball and 2 strikes here to Oliveras. Shaking off a couple. Time called now by the hitter. And Tigers with 3 in the top of the first, with only on 1 hit. Base hit by Trenton Bruton, brought in a run. Here's the 1-2. Fouls it off.
That was a pitch to hit right there.
Yep.
Miranda grooved that one to try to get a strike in there.
Okay, comes set. Checks that runner. Now he comes home. Curveball hit foul. What about 5 foul balls?
There are a bunch.
Don't run out
right
of balls
side.
over there. All right, he's got the pitch he likes. And a time called.
Yeah, Coach Autry's not happy. He likes his pitchers to work faster, and I think that's what he's talking to Poncho and Josh about. Let's speed this up a little bit.
Boy, it's the thing with runners on base sometimes. It just curveball, not a strike. Again, a lot of break on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of break. And
kind of saw the same thing with Oliveras, right? Or Alvarez. Got Oliveras at the plate, and Alvarez on the mound. Except his were biting and getting in the
down
dirt
a little bit. Yeah,
kind of getting away. So a 2-2 count now to Oliveras. He's been a tough out. Popped him up. He's going to be out of play again.
Kind of your typical 2-hole hitter.
Yes.
He kind of gets up there and sees a lot of pitches, fouls stuff off, battles.
Doing a good job. So here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him swinging.
Got him to chase that curveball finally. Brought it down just a little bit, I think.
All right, so this is the 3-hole. Reagan Yeager. I think your research said he's going to Wichita Baptist.
Yes, it is committed to them earlier this year.
Is that the Great American Conference?
That is. That's where my Bisons play. So.
Yeah, it's one of our conferences for the Heritage Bowl. So throw over to first base. He's back in.
Pretty good size shortstop. Kid looks.
Kind of got that Corey Seager build, you know, long legs, left-handed. I don't know about the hoodie thing.
Yeah,
that would bother me. Fouls that one right at us. Boom. Almost at him. Almost got at him there if we hadn't had the concrete barrier in front of us.
Yeah, that's a trend I've started seeing a lot of these high school kids wearing that hoodie type.
Short sleeve hoodie, yeah.
Saw that guy from Heritage wearing it, third baseman, last week.
Here's the 0-1. That's a good pitch in for strike 2.
Yeah, that's a great spot right there. Not a lot you could do with that even if you tried.
Probably just below the knee. And in your strike K box is going to be on that line on the bottom. We got 0-1. Well, now there's 2 okay, 0-2. That's what I say. I know we didn't miss that. So quick throw over to first base. He's back. Again, trying to hold the leadoff single there. Not really working anything. He figured, the way he handled the bat, he might bunt him, did not bunt him. Just trying to hit their way. So 0-2 count. Here's the pitch in the dirt. Good job by Josh getting down and blocking it. Again, you cannot pick. You can't rely on picking these out of the dirt. You've got to get down and use your body and get in front of it.
And like you mentioned, the dirt's better than Terrell, but even around the plate, you can see it's pretty loose.
Yeah, it looks really soft. So. There's the 1-2. Pitch stays up, 2-2. So 2-2. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second base. Over to second for one. Not going to have time to get two. Again, on the grass and turf, it was not coming out hard, so it'll be a fielder's choice for Yeager, but Wolford is out at second base. 2 down, and keep the runner there at first. So the pitcher, the cleanup man, Alvarez, is up. Curveball in for a strike right there.
Nice spot.
Yeah. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball a little inside there. And that looked like it might hit him up in the shoulder.
Yeah, almost came back and got the plate.
He buckled a little bit, or was about to dodge. Here's the 1-1. Fastball fouled off. A couple breaking balls and come back and challenge him. Macho been all over the plate. He hadn't thrown a lot of balls.
No.
If he has, it's been after about 5 or 6 foul balls. So here's the 1-2. Yep, got him looking. Good pitch right there. Had him crossed up pretty good, and that's going to do it. Had a leadoff single, but they strand a runner at first base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left after 1 full inning of play. It's 3-0 Tigers. We'll be back for the second after this. All right, we're back here, second inning coming up. Tigers get 3 there in the first. That's a big 3 runs. It's been a while since we scored runs. Of course, we scored a bunch against Terrell.
Yes.
But we don't need that to be our averages out. We need to score some runs here. Tough week last week, scored 1 run. Only have, 4 hits, and those were all on Tuesday. So Walker Smith going to lead it off here. You got 7, 8, 9 for the Tigers. Smith, Medrano, and Phillips. Good job by Miranda not letting that run come around there.
Yeah, leadoff single.
Yeah. So Walker Smith, the left fielder, steps in. Pretty close pitch, but a ball. I guess that breaking ball cannot leak off the plate.
It is.
1-0. Pitch inside, 2-0. Ball had a little run inside.
It did.
Didn't it?
It looked like it was running back.
So good spot here for Walker, 2-0. Chopper to the left side. Third baseman backhands it, throws it over. Good play by Josh Walford at third base. 1 down.
I think Walford is a sophomore. I think he might have been a district newcomer of the year last year for them.
Oh, yeah. He got his sunglasses on top of his helmet, got his wristbands on.
Looking cool.
Yeah, he's that guy. Fastball up and in on Medrano, 1-0. Almost get it. Got a sleeve on his right arm. Yeah.
We need to come up with something we could sell kids these days.
Exactly. 2-0.
If you make it cool enough, everybody will buy it.
I'm telling you, man, it's all the accessories. We were lucky to get a batting glove. 3-0 Coach Cummings wouldn't let us use one of those. So.
Yeah, we shared about, I think we had 5 helmets so that everybody got
we only had 4. So if you got one that didn't fit, you'd have to work it around with the guys on base.
Yeah, switch them out and,
3-1, yeah. We had 4 helmets and probably about 4, maybe 5 bats.
Yeah.
That was it.
David, defense.
Here's the 3-1. Going to be chopped. Because it's off of him. So 3-2. Yeah, we didn't all have $100 bat bags with $400 bats in them. So, and 4 gloves.
Exactly.
If you had an outfield glove, infield glove, and pitcher's glove, it was all the same glove.
That's for sure.
Here's the full count pitch. Swing and a miss at a high one. Got him chasing on that one. 2 down. So brings up number 9 hitter Blake Phillips. We're going to bunt for a hit right here. Feel it.
I would like to see that. Get Blake something that get him some success. He struggled a little bit in district, so help him out a little.
Good bunt down third baseline. Third baseman comes up and plays it. Gets the throw over, but not enough on it. Gets away. Phillips on his way to second base. Right fielder's there, but not going to throw it. So that's a base hit and an error on the throw to go to second base.
Yes, I agree. I like that. Get something going. Make them make a play. Something for Blake to have some success.
Yeah, and he's really good at bunting the ball for a hit like that. And get everybody moving, get those guys knowing what they have to do. So now you got a man in scoring position here with 2 outs. Connor Perkins up. Was hit by a pitch, came around to score. There's another bunt, going to be hard but foul. That was probably a little too hard. But Connor, he can run, so he gets that ball down in a good spot. He can beat it out pretty good. Easton would like to have another shot.
Yes.
After that last go around, So no balls in a strike here to Connor Perkins. Fastball up and in, 1-1.
They're not really holding Blake on out there.
No. Be a good chance to run. Just want to make sure you don't take the bat out of Connor's hands. He's not really getting a big lead, so time called.
It might be one of those situations where you see Connor kind of square around and then still at the same time try to draw that third baseman in.
Down and in. Good job by the catcher, Crutcher, blocking that one. 2 balls in a strike now to Perk. Connor Perkins, the junior, was the pitcher of the year last year in whatever district we were in. I can't remember. 5A maybe?
Yeah, 15.
Now we're 15, I know.
Yeah.
That's in for a strike, 2-2. Man, big hole on the right side. Ground side playing in at first, too. So 2-2 here to Perkins. Runner goes. Base hit, or not base hit, shot right at the third baseman. Off the bag, but they do get the tag as it's up the line. It's a good pitch to run on. But Perkins hit it hard, but right at the third baseman. Walford's able to get it out with a little help from his first baseman there. So that's going to do it here in the second as the Tigers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. So it's still 3-0 after an inning and a half. We'll be back for the bottom of the second after this. All right, bottom of the second coming up here for Kaufman. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters. It's Montez, Burks, and Ewing. And Isaiah Miranda back out for his second inning of work. Gave up a hit to lead off the game, but was able to pitch around it. Had a strikeout. A couple strikeouts in that inning. So first pitch popped up, foul. Everybody's going to the right side. Looks like it's going to be out of play. The one thing about sitting right here on the backstop is it's hard to see those balls when they go up.
Yeah, and lose them pretty quick.
I'm counting on you to make sure it doesn't hit us. So no balls in the strike. Pitch stayed up right there, 1-1. And the 1-1.
That looked pretty good.
Man, tight zone tonight, seems like.
Definitely on the
both
outside,
sides.
Yeah.
Is not giving a lot if it's close to the corner. Swing and a miss, high fastball, 2-2. Helped him out right there.
And he did.
Breaking ball outside is able to hold up 3-2. Rangers with a 1-0 lead in the top of the ninth. So,
well, that's a quick game.
yeah, where's that offense we were supposed to have? So, there's a back liner out there going to be played by Phillips pretty easy. And came off the bat, but hit the dirt and kind of squibbed away. So it makes it easy there for Phillips. One down. The offense, okay. It's a Corsicana situation here. You got, how many hits you got? 3 hits, but you have, that's 1 home run. Wyatt Langford with a home run. 4 hits, but Wyatt Langford getting it done. There's a smash in the gap right there. It's going to be trouble. Bruton's going to get over there and get it, cut it off, and hold him to a single. Again, once it hits the grass, it really dies out there, but hit in a good spot by Burks. Second hit of the game for Kaufman.
Yeah, I went to the game Sunday. Langford hit 1, and then Garcia hit 1. That was basically how they won. Help DeGrom get off the hook there.
2 totally opposites. Langford snuck over the wall in the shortest part of the field, and Dulles crushed it.
That was a shot.
So 1 out, 1 on here in the second. Curveball.
Yeah, that one looked pretty good.
He didn't. Maybe it was up. Not going to get a lot of those called strikes, it doesn't look like tonight. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Leave that in the dirt. You're good.
Again, we're off to kind of the left a little bit. Maybe just past the right-hander's batter's box, but that's fastball has stayed in on him, 2-1. But some of those curveballs look pretty good.
They did.
So 2-1. Fouls it off. 2-2. Isaiah, and out of the stretch, does lift that leg. He doesn't slide step, so makes it hard to hold the runners, but they're not running tonight. Curveball, 3-2. And he's starting that out at the plate, trying to get a chase.
Yeah,
they've been pretty disciplined on it. Full count here. Going to be a chopper to third base. Good job by Easton Autry. Going to get the out at second. Over to first. They're going to get him a double play, and that's going to do it. I think they called interference.
They did.
They called interference. He didn't even look at first base, did he?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought he slid. I didn't know what what the call there is,
Well,
but
no.
he was quick to do it. So.
Yes, he was. And I'll point out this is Kaufman's home field. So this is not our umpires. So it is a 3-0 ball game as we go to the third inning. Stephen will have the play-by-play when we come back. All right, here we go. Third inning. Easton Autry going to lead it off after a double play ends the second inning. And, man, Stephen, sure would like to see you get a good call right here.
Yeah, it would be nice to get a good one right here and get this third inning started off right.
Yeah, get a ball on some of those doubles we were seeing a couple of weeks ago where he's smashing those things against the wall.
Alvarez working from the stretch all the time. Does come set. Easton Autry waits. Ball low.
Have they thrown him a fastball yet?
I don't think so. It's been curveball and changeup. Third baseman's tying his shoe over there. One ball, no strikes. Alvarez delivers. There's a fly ball left side. It's going to get out of play. Evens the count 1-1.
Third baseman wearing the sunglasses on his helmet, on his hat, dark. I mean, it's like the hoodie thing, and shortstop is too. Like that,
I know.
that would bug me as a player.
Yes. There's the 1-1 outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Now, if you're an outfielder or something and it's in between, you might have them, but yeah, no.
Yeah, it's just for looks.
The old days, you had the flip glasses.
Yes. Here's the ball side 3-1. I found some of those Christmas time at Walmart and got them for some of my little dudes. they look, yeah, the outfielders. They look pretty cool with them.
Yeah,
So.
heck yeah, those are good stuff.
Here's the 3-1.
Oh,
there
my.
it is. That's long, deep. It's way out of here. Home run, Hunter. Easton Autry. Hunter, I'm used to seeing Hunter here.
That's a flashback there.
Man, he got all of that one. I think.
What wind?
Yeah, it didn't matter about the wind. It's straight into the wind.
Oh, my goodness. He crushed that ball.
Nobody hurt?
That's what you want to see from that guy. You know he's feeling better about that.
Yes. Yes.
Good for him.
I mean, he barreled that up, but it wasn't an overpowering swing. He just put a really good swing on it. That's like he did in the Terrell game.
All he's got to do is hit it on the barrel, and he's strong enough to make that happen. And, again, straight in the wind. No, I don't know that the wind's as bad as it was earlier, but it's still plenty.
Yes. And there's a first pitch in to Josh Portillo. The strike. Tigers now lead at 4-0 after that Easton Autry home run. Ball outside. Evens the count 1-1. Alvarez up to 46 pitches. They've got the pitch count out here so we can keep up with that on the scoreboard. Alvarez delivers low. Ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the top of the third.
I believe that was Easton's 4th home run.
There's a line shot over the shortstop's head, gets down. Nice base hit there, so good job there by Josh to follow up that home run with a good base hit.
Another barrel to put on the barrel board in the dugout. They track barrels, rate that as something they really hit it well out on the barrel. It doesn't have to be a base hit, but as long as they hit it solid, I get credit for that and track that along with everything else they do. All data-driven stuff these days.
Got throws over to first, try to pick off Portillo, but he's back.
He is running for himself here. I guess if he gets to second, they'll probably run for him again.
Here's the delivery. Jordan grounds it foul down the third base line. And, that's a stat they started tracking, and really it makes a lot of sense. I mean, we played this game long enough to know you can hit the ball as hard as you can, or anybody can, and get out.
Yep.
But
you hit a blader through the infield and you get a hit. So
the feedback with an average oftentimes isn't accurate, but the ball down, it's going to skip away from the catcher, and Portillo reads it and takes second.
That's a great read. I mean, again, he saw that it was down in the dirt. He didn't play it clean. And, again, probably shouldn't have even thrown the ball because Josh had a great jump on it. I think that was just more disaster waiting to happen on the throw. Because if it gets through.
Seen what's happened, yeah.
So the courtesy runner does come out now at second base. So, Kate Mitchell?
Yes, 11.
Jordan Tamez now here got a chance with a man in scoring position.
Add to this lead. 1 ball, 1 strike. Delivery. He's going to bunt it down the third base line. It's going to get past the third baseman. Going to take a turn there, Mitchell is, but he's going to stay there at third, and JT's going to take it all the way to second base.
I like that. He never stopped. He ran the whole way. That'll be an infield hit right there. Should we give him a double?
That'd be real generous.
But, man, I'm telling you, Walford was doing everything he could. He was trying to make a play in the air, and the ball got under his glove. So,
yeah, it's one of those really it's not a kind of bunt you'd like to have, but it worked out.
Because it hit before he got there. He didn't miss the ball. But then once it hit, he missed it because it went under his glove. So.
Brings up Trenton Bruton now with runners on second and third. First pitch to him's outside.
Bruton had the big hit in the first inning, brought in a run. So, again, it's good to see us finding some barrels now. Whereas anything we did find with a barrel before was right at somebody last week.
Alvarez going to step off.
2 good runners out there. Base hit. Should score Jordan as well.
Yeah, a lot of speed on the bases right now for the Tigers.
And a big lead. I think right now.
There's a little bleeder. It's a little Texas leaguer over the second base. And both runners are going to score as Jordan's coming home and play at the plate, but he'll be in there safe. 2 RBI single there by Trenton Bruton, and he'll take second on the throw.
That's his 3rd RBI of the game already, so good job right there by Trenton, getting a bat on the ball. And, Tigers just hadn't been able to find a hole. And tonight they're finding holes, but they're also hitting the ball hard as well.
Yeah, that's a good sign. And like I said, I've heard Coach Archer talk about it. Hitting's contagious, and they started doing that tonight, and everybody's enjoying it right now.
And you got no outs and the runner in scoring position still.
And Gabe Sod up to plate. He'll take the first pitch in for a strike. Curveball on the outside corner.
That's a good pitch.
Gabe steps back in. Alvarez comes set, checks his runner. Delivers a fastball high.
When he puts that extra mustard on the fastball, they're staying elevated.
Yeah, it is. It's staying up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he's not afraid to pitch inside either.
No, he's come in quite a bit. Here's the 1-1. It's going to be fouled off by Gabe Sod.
Pool cue.
Yeah, he got that off the end of the bat and down the first base line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Top of the third. Tigers now leading at 6-0. Alvarez delivers outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's good hang there by Crutcher because that ball was headed to the backstop.
Sod now taking a deep breath as he steps back in. Count 2-2. Alvarez checks his runner and delivers. Swung on, foul back.
Yeah, Gabe didn't have a great swing at it, but he was able to get a piece of it. He recognized it was going to be close and was able to hang in there and foul it off.
A little bit up, probably the top of the strike zone there. Two balls, 2 strikes. Alvarez delivers. Ground ball third.
Base hit?
Base side is foul ball.
Oh, thought they went over the bag.
I think it just came just this side of the bag. It was close.
Bad angle for me to make that call.
Coach Autry was right there. I think he saw that it was a foul. But yeah, I thought it might have caught the corner.
It was good for a long way.
So it'll still be 2-2. Alvarez delivers, and he's going to say went. Struck him out.
I'd like to see a replay on that one.
Yeah, that one. I'm not sure he went on that, but 1 out here in the top of the third. Tigers leading at 6-0. Walker Smith will step in. Base runner at second base being Trenton Bruton. Like to get that run in and get the 7.
Sir. Maximize that first opportunity there in the first.
There's first pitch in outside, ball 1.
And it is a tight zone.
Really is.
At least from this angle, it looks like it's pretty tight.
1 ball, no strikes. 1 out. Curveball high. 2 balls, no strikes. Alvarez struggling with his control just a little bit here. It's up to 64 pitches with 1 out in the 3rd inning.
So going back to that ball Easton hit.
Yeah. Here's the 2-0. Right in there for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I think that ball's over the road in Corsicana.
Yeah. I kind of lost it. I think it was.
I never saw it hit, though.
Yeah. Around tree height out there.
I know when you saw the right fielder just stop. That's a good bunt
Good
right
bunt
there.
by Walker Smith. He's going to make it the first and be safe. That's a good hustle by him. Good play by Alvarez to get off the mound and get to that ball, but just a little bit too late. And that'll be put runners at first and third now with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd.
5th hit of the inning, 7th hit of the game for the Tigers. So.
And a couple of them been bunts.
Yes, yes, sir.
Doing the little things oftentimes lead to the big things.
That's 3 bunt hits for the game.
You're going to bring up Sean Medrano. 1 out. Going to swing at the first pitch. Fouls it back.
He's the one to yank that one down the line.
Grounded out to the 3rd baseman his first time up. Or no, he struck out. That was Walker that grounded out to the
Yes.
3rd baseman. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. 0-1 count. There's a fly ball out to the right side. The second baseman's back on the grass. He's going to make the play for the 2nd out, and everybody will have to hold up where they're at. So good job there by Alvarez.
So you got Blake Phillips. They going to hold the runner at the bag, going to stay close. Is he going to come in and play the bunt? Yeah, he's going to come in and play the bunt.
Yep.
So you push it the other way, right?
Yes. You got the first baseman holding the runner on over there.
Yep. Make Alvarez get off the mound. So,
Pitch outside there to Phillips. 1 ball, no strike.
Rangers win 1-0.
There you go.
Last night they got beat by 14 runs or 13 runs or whatever it was. But
Here's the 1-0. Runner's going. Walker's going. They're going to try to cut it and get him at the plate, but Bruton's going to slide in safe. Good job there by Trenton to get down the line.
The old double steal there.
So that'll be the 7th run of the night for the Tigers. Still with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd.
We either score a bunch or not at all.
Yeah.
I like the bunch part myself. Let's keep it up. And again, this is a team that's been holding teams down.
Fastball high. 3 balls, no strikes. Connor Perkins waiting on deck. Here's the 3-0. In for a strike. 3-1.
They haven't even gone out to the mound to visit him.
No. He's thrown 72 pitches, and we're not out of the 3rd.
And he's thrown probably 30 or this inning, huh?
There's foul back. Runs the count full here. Walker Smith out at second. 3-2, 2 outs. Now the catcher calls times and wants to go talk to Alvarez. Phillips going to run down and talk to Coach Autry. Talking to him, I think, about a 2-strike approach right here.
Always coaching.
Yeah, exactly. 3-2, 2 outs. Tigers lead at 7-0. Alvarez comes set. Payoff pitch. Foul back.
Blake hanging in there. Fouling pitches off.
3-2.
Alvarez can keep coming with him.
Yep. He's got to stay in the zone so you can protect a little bit up there. Here's the 3-2. It's way upstairs, and they'll walk Phillips to put runners at first and second for Connor Perkins.
Still not going to the mound.
They've got somebody throwing down there.
Yes. I think he's been throwing long.
He just started, actually.
9th hitter to the plate this inning.
Let's go.
Perkins steps in. Alvarez delivers, bunted down the third baseline. Great bunt. Walford in. He's going to try to make a play, but it's way too late, and everybody's going to be safe. So
bases loaded for Easton Autry.
Who homered his first time.
Could we see it again? Could we see that again?
Now, if you're Alvarez, having already just given up a bomb to him, now you come facing him again, same inning, bases loaded.
And you can't do anything with him but pitch to him.
Easton.
He just needs to be patient right here and do just what he did before.
Exactly.
Get the bat on the ball.
Easton steps in. He's ready. Alvarez comes set. He's going to step off. There's a
just foul
ball down the right field line.
Thought he was going to get it down that line at first.
Be a bases clearing double or triple there. It's a long strike. 0-1, 2 outs. Alvarez comes set. There's a line shot down the right field line. It's going to, 1 will score. 2 runs are going to score. He's going to hold up Perkins at third. So Autry's going to have himself a 2 RBI single. Nice hard line drive to right field.
Well, good job there. You bring in 2 more, you get to 9. And again, that's Great run production right there. That's what you want to see from that young man. Just coming out, making contact. He didn't try to do too much right there, Stephen.
Yeah, that's the key right there. I liked his approach. You didn't see him trying to muscle up on that ball. He took what the game gave him and drove that ball hard into right field.
This poor kid, he's out there for good.
Yeah, it's
This is the 10th, 11th batter in the inning.
yes. Man, on first and third, ball gets away from the catcher. They're going to send. Perkins is going to score, and Easton Autry will head on down to second base. So now we're at 10-0 as Perkins scores.
Well, they had a really good practice on Saturday, Coach said.
I drove by there about 12:30, and they were still practicing. So I don't know what time they started, but I would bet it was pretty early.
I would bet you're right.
Here's the 1-0. Alvarez coming set. Portillo takes it upstairs. Ball 2. Or he's 1-1. Is what the. I guess he called a strike on that one pass ball.
On the pass ball?
I don't know.
Wild pitch.
Here's the 1-1. In for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Josh, that's a change up right there. I think he just couldn't pull the trigger on. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Easton Autry down at second base. Portillo's going to call a timeout and step out.
Pretty good inning for Easton. Home run, a single, 3 RBI. That's pretty good.
Not
good
too
inning.
bad. Here's the 1-2.
I think he made
Check
up for that
swing.
strikeout in
Yeah.
the first. So.
Yeah. Check swing, foul ball. Can't score. Score right now, 10-0. Tigers. Counts 1-2. 2 outs.
Well, just keep it right here. I would not argue with that.
No, that'd be all right. Here's the 1-2. Line ground ball over to second base. Second baseman Olivares is over and makes a play. He'll end the inning, but not before the Tigers pick up 7 runs on 1, 2, 3,
6 hits.
6 hits.
Yep.
And we'll head to the bottom of the third with the Tigers now leading it 10-0. All right, we're back here at the bottom of the third. Tigers leading at 10-0. They'll face the bottom 2 batters of the Kaufman Lions, Austin Glidewell and Jack Crutcher, and then back to the top of the order with Josh Walford here in the third.
We're on our 3rd time around. They haven't made it through once yet, so that's a sign of a decent night. So
pretty good job so far. Brings up Austin Glidewell, the center fielder. Pretty good name for a center fielder,
Yeah.
Glidewell.
like that.
There's a ball inside.
It's really key right here. You know, Poncho's been in the dugout for a long time. All those runs, not to lose your focus right here with a big lead.
Here's the 1-0. Line drive out to center field. Temez on it. It makes a leap and play at the last second. I think he almost ran in too far. Didn't realize how hard that ball was hit. Does get the out.
Like it had some underspin on it. It kind of kept that ball up, you know, so.
Going to bring up the catcher, Jack Crutcher, number 3 for the Lions. First pitch to him is fouled over the first base dugout.
Crutcher's done a pretty good job behind the plate. He's blocked some tough balls back there.
Yeah, Alvarez's curveball, he's thrown in the dirt quite a bit, and he's done a good job at digging it out. There's a 0-1's in, and it's a ball, so 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you see a guy hit the mitt, you want the call, and it doesn't mean it's a strike just because he threw it where the mitt was. But
there's a curveball.
That's a good pitch.
I think he might have been up a little bit, but
he's not giving that one.
No. 2 balls, 1 strike. Miranda.
There you go.
Crutcher fouls it off.
Like that Poncho, he's down 2-1. He's able to get back in the zone. And again, whenever you see a pitcher lose the strike zone, we haven't seen him do that, and that's good.
There's a 2-2 grounder out to shortstop. Perkins over. He's going to make the play over to first base and gets the out. So 2 outs here quickly in the bottom of the third as the Tigers holding on to this 10-0 lead. Would like to make this a quick inning for Miranda.
And one thing right there, that ball kind of slid on Connor a little bit as it came off the grass. He was able to stay down on it. The double play ball to end that last inning to Easton hit off the curtain right there and really skid on him, and because he was waiting for a hop, and it hit and kind of dove down, and he was able to make that adjustment. So those are the things you deal with when you're playing on natural surface sometimes.
For sure. There's a foul ball by Josh Wofford. Evens the count 1-1.
Led off the game with a base hit, and that's been
all they've got.
They got another hit in the second, but really haven't been able to get anybody past first.
There's a foul ball back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Still looking for balls here, chasing down all these foul balls.
There's been a lot of foul balls.
Oh, Josh Wofford here, he's a good-looking kid, only a sophomore, but handles the bat well. See him playing nice third base.
Yeah. Hit the ball well the first time up. There's a pop up to center field. Temez coming in. Perkins going back. It's going to be Perkins that makes a play. And it's a 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the third. And Tigers will come back and try to add to this 10-0 lead when we come back. All right, we're back here. Top of the fourth, Tigers come to the plate, leading at 10-0. It'll bring up Jordan Temez will lead it off for the Tigers, followed by Trent Bruton and Gabe Sodden. Both those guys, the first two guys here, Temez and Bruton, both had singles in the last inning. Came around to score. 2 runs there. 2 for 2 and 2 runs for Bruton, the guy on deck.
Yeah, he's had some hit 3 RBIs in the game. So these guys have been very productive here tonight.
Temez stands in.
Safety squeeze for Jordan. Start
got a
first.
new pitcher in for the Kaufman Lions. His name's Roger De La Cruz. First pitch in for a ball to Temez. There's the 1-0 foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. De La Cruz wears number 9. Here's the 1-1. Almost hits Temez.
Breaking ball that didn't break till late right there. No one was able to back out of the way.
2 balls, 1 strike. There's one in, fouled down the right field line. It's going to drift out of play. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Temez stands in. De La Cruz going through the windup. He'll deliver a fastball line down the right field line. It's going to drop in for at least 1. Temez is going to go for 2, just now being picked up out there, and he'll stand up. Double for Jordan Temez.
We have seen him do that, be able to go the other way with those pitches, and just a good job of hitting. Another good barrel right there for the Tigers. For Jordan, puts it down the line, and again, he was on second before that ball was barely out of his hand.
Yep.
So that was good work right there by him. And, man, he's just been a nice addition to this team.
Definitely has. He's 2 for 2 for the night with a sac bunt. And it's going to bring up Trenton Bruton, another guy that's 2 for 2 already tonight. Looking to add to this 10-0 lead. Curveball in for a strike.
Tell you what, Trenton's somebody we needed, and he really kind of helped get you started there in the first. Had another big hit in his last at bat, so getting that kind of production when you start getting to this point in the lineup is really beneficial because that's still middle of the lineup.
Yes.
You need RBIs out of here.
And there's a pitch in. That's a ball. Yes, it's like we've talked about. We had some production down there with Sod and Medrano in games, and that middle of the order. Now that they're producing, you see what happens. So, ball in.
And tonight it's up and down. So, everybody getting into the act. So,
2 balls, 1 strike.
Put up 7 runs in an inning.
Yeah,
that feels pretty good. And there were hard hit balls and bunt hits, so it's a good mixture.
Ball outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
And really, it wasn't a lot of walks, or 1 walk in the inning. So,
great job there by the Tigers in that 3rd inning. Here's the 3-1. Lined up the middle. It's going to get down. Temez is going to have to hold his hit so hard, but he'll be at third base easily, and Trenton Bruton picks up his 3rd hit of the night.
And again, we talked about a lot of last year. Straight up the middle. He hit a lot of balls up the middle, and that's 2 straight up the middle here tonight. The other was in left center. So, again, going in that direction has really paid off for him and here tonight for sure. So,
brings up Gabe Sod. Gabe's flown out to center field and struck out. Looking for his 1st hit of the night.
I think that's 10 hits in the game for the Tigers.
That one hits him off the helmet. He's going to probably have a little bit of a headache there. He's going to trot down to first base.
Well, the good thing is in high school you wear full helmets, both sides, both ear holes. A lot more protection than.
Yes.
I still don't understand why major leaguers wear that half ear, just one ear side.
Hey, I don't feel comfortable with that.
Especially now that guys are throwing 103
Yes.
or 100 on a regular basis. So
That's going to bring up Walker Smith with the bases loaded.
better protect against the bunt there, Walford.
He is on the grass, the third baseman, Walford. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by De La Cruz.
Look, the wind's picked up a little, but Walker was going for the big hit right there. He's going for a double, drive, empty those bases.
Here's the 0-1. De La Cruz looks in. Comes set. And delivers. Fouled back by Walker Smith. I like that De La Cruz. It reminds me of that Ellie De La Cruz.
Yes.
Hit a few bombs last night.
Yeah, he had a big night last night.
With that new torpedo bat.
Yeah, he was my first round pick in fantasy. I wasn't rooting for him to do that last night, but he's a fun guy to watch.
Yep. Here's the 0-2 to Walker Smith. Swing and a miss. He's going to strike out Smith there and bring up Sean Medrano.
Medrano's due for a hit. He ain't got his hit today. He's had some really good at-bats the last few weeks, too, starting over in Terrell.
He did. He had a big night over at Terrell 2 weeks ago.
Had a nice hit over in
last
over in
Tuesday
Heritage
night.
on a double.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Medrano's going to hit it
Yes,
down
he
the
did.
third base line. It's just inside the line. It's going to get all the way to the corner. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And he'll hold up with a stand-up double there, and that adds 2 more to the Tiger lead. Now it's 12-0. Good job there by Sean Medrano.
He turned on that one, got it down the line, picked up a couple of RBIs on the play, and good job right there by Sean and keeping the hot hand.
So Sean got his first hit of the night with 2 RBIs. They'll bring up Blake Phillips, Tiger's second baseman. He's got a base hit and a walk tonight. Has a chance here to add 2 more to this score. First pitch in for a strike. Oh, 1 count.
In that Ranger game, Evaldi had a 98-pitch shutout with the whole game.
Wow. You don't see that very often anymore.
Nasty Nate.
Here's the 0-1. Hit hard to first baseman. He's going to make a play. We're going to send the runner from third. He's going to be safe as he slides in ahead of the tag. And that was a close play there at the plate.
It got a lot closer than I thought it was.
Me too. Medrano will move on over to third base.
I'm not sure it was as close as the umpire made it look by taking his
I
time.
agree.
But I like the fact that he looked it over really good
Yeah.
and made a decision. Made sure he saw what he saw, you know.
Yep. He's going to bring up Connor Perkins, leadoff hitter for the Tigers. Runner still on third base. Fastball in for a strike.
It's a good-looking pitch right there.
Very good-looking pitch. Medrano down there at third, 90 feet away. Tigers now leading at 13-0. There's a line shot over the shortstop's head. It will score Medrano. So good piece of hitting there by Connor Perkins. And the hit parade continues for the Tigers.
Let's save a few for next week now. We got a big week next week, so 3 runs across, 4 hits, right?
Yeah, 4 runs in this inning.
4 runs now, yeah.
Going to bring up Easton Autry. Easton had a single his last at bat and a home run in the same inning in the previous at bat.
Well, let's just see if we can do it again.
Might as well. like De La Cruz trying to stay down. He saw what happened when you leave one up and over the plate.
Yeah, trying to get him to chase that ball.
Roger.
Good stop there by Crutcher behind the plate.
Perkins, not much lead over there at first. There's the 1-0.
Oh,
Swing and a miss.
change up.
Change up. He was out in front of that. Good.
Oh.
Big swing there by Easton Autry.
Yeah, that ball was sitting there about thigh high, and the bottom fell out of it.
Here's the pitch. Curveball inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two outs here. Top of the 4th. Tigers leading at 14-0. Here's the 2-1. It'll be low. Ball 3.
Nothing but off speed here.
3 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs. De La Cruz comes set. Delivers. Line down third base, foul.
That's a little too much plate.
Yeah, he's lucky that he didn't shoot that down in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Full count now to the Tiger slugger.
You got it, Roger.
3-2, 2 outs. Perkins probably be moving on the pitch. There's a shot through the right side. It's going to, well,
Wow.
Oliveras makes a nice play to get to that ball, but he can't make a play. I thought that thing was headed
Yeah.
to right field. He's able to cut it off, but Autry will beat it out, get the hit, another hit.
Guess we'll give him an infield hit on that, but
Yeah. And
Just got-
Perkins moves all the way to third on that.
so we couldn't hit it all last week. We got 13 now and 14 runs. Unless I'm missing some hits. Very well good at this
It could be a
point.
few more than that. Yeah, I've kind of lost the count as well. There's a first pitch in for a strike to Josh.
Got a good crisp breaking ball. Again, this is second inning in a row. We've sent at least 9 to the plate.
Portillo stands in. It's going to
Ooh,
see
that ball's down. Get down.
It was foul.
Hooking.
Just foul. It was hooking a little bit. Hit it hard, though.
Breaking ball stayed up there.
It
He
did.
jumped all over. So
Just out in front of it a little bit. No balls, 2 strikes.
you got the barrel on that sucker. That's good. Good contact.
Here's the 0-2. Fouled at the plate. We'll stay with the count 0-2. Runners on first and third. 2 outs here, top of 4. Swing and a
Good
miss. Strike out to end the inning, but not before the Tigers pick up 4 more, and they'll head to the bottom of the 4th with the Tigers leading 14-0.
Well, bottom of the fourth, we're ready to go, except we don't have a catcher. There comes Josh.
Probably not going to take too many pitches here.
I would think
With Josh.
one and throw it down. So.
Yep. So we'll be here at the bottom of the fourth. Tigers leading at 14-0 and getting close to that 5-inning run rule if we can keep it here. Do that for you don't see too many times where it gets really out of hand, but right now the way the Tigers are hitting, it's been very helpful. There's a bunt down the Easton's going to try to play it with his bare hand and not going to be able to get it. That was really his only play, was to try to do that. Really good bunt there by Oliveras.
Yeah, that was really good job getting down the line, ball hugging that grass line right there, and Easton charging it with the bare hand was the only. We saw him make a play like that. I believe that was last week, wasn't it?
Was.
So, certainly capable of that, but it's a hit or miss. You know, you're not going to have a chance otherwise if you play with your glove.
I'll call that a base hit. Brings up Reagan Yeager, shortstop. It's a hard line ball over the third base dugout. Miranda comes set. Ball outside. Situation right here where as a pitcher, you just want to get the ball back and throw strikes.
Mm-hmm.
1 ball, 1 strike. Foul ball over the third base dugout. Kind of like what you did last inning. You had 3 quick outs.
Mm-hmm. Go right at them. Let them get themselves out. We had 2 flyouts and a ground ball. So.
I don't know if he looks like Miranda having a little trouble with the sign right there. Might be a glare or shadows. I almost want to just say throw a fastball unless I give you a different sign.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, they're on back ready now. Yeager steps in. There's the 1-2, fouled back. Count will stay at 1-2.
Alvarez is not going to bat.
De La Cruz batting in that spot, yep.
I think you can do a pitcher DH/DH in that spot and stay in and hit, right?
Yeah, I think so, but 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball to Perkins at shortstop. He's going to flip over to second.
Got
one and on to first, and they're going to get the double play. Good job there. Good turn by Blake. And
that's a left-handed hitting shortstop right there.
He's quick. Yeah, he's pretty quick. We saw him get down the baseline in the first inning.
Good turn right there. Good job by Phillips in the middle. Making the turn. Good quick delivery from Perkins. He got rid of the ball quick. Gave Phillips a good chance. Gave him good feed. Got it on over there. Big double play. And again, as if the score wasn't enough, getting double play after a leadoff hit.
Yeah. First pitch into De La Cruz, who's the pitcher, and he's hitting in the Alvarez's spot as well. 0-1. Ball 1-1.
But more life on the mound for Pancho, too. He doesn't have to worry about a runner right here, and got the double play. And got a little excited on that one.
He did. There's one in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was at the very bottom.
It
of the zone.
was. Probably a little low. Here's a 1-2. Curveball fouled off.
That was a good curveball right there. Good, sharp curveball. De La Cruz did a good job
He
staying
did.
with it.
A lot of movement on it. He was able to foul it off. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of 4. Ground ball to Blake Phillips at second base. He'll scoop it up and throw it over to first for the 3rd out. And it'll be a quick inning for the Tigers as they get the double play and then a ground out to second to end it here in the 4th inning. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Tigers leading at 14-0.
All right, we are back here, about to head to the 5th inning. Tigers up with a 14-0 lead. Looks like we're going to have some pinch hitters. Cade Mitchell for Temez, Dobbs for Bruton. That's what we can see so far. Good opportunity to get some other ABs for guys. Mitchell been running, so he scored some tonight.
Yeah.
He hadn't batted yet. De La Cruz still in the game.
Yes,
For,
pitching for
Kaufman.
For
so,
Kaufman.
yeah.
Somebody else over there, what's that on deck?
That's Dobbs,
16
is it?
now. Somebody else stepped out.
Okay, maybe they can
16?
16. Do you have the
Oh, got
lineup?
it over here. Let's see. It's in my book. I promise. Let's see. That's Jackson McGraw.
Okay.
He's on deck. But then Dobbs is behind him. There's
Oh,
Mitchell,
man.
first pitch. Flies down the right field line.
Base
It's
hit.
going to be a base hit and hit in fair territory and go over. They're
no,
going
he
to
got-
tag him out as he tries to stretch it into a double.
Man, that was a great throw from out there.
That was a good job by Oliveris. He's a good little player out
So
there.
second baseman picked it up and threw it.
Yep.
Yeah, he made a great throw. Hey, I like the speed. He came
Yeah.
out running. I like
Yep.
the aggressiveness. Unfortunately for him, got tagged out.
Got a single, though. Probably his first varsity hit, I would guess.
I would think so.
Maybe he had some in the tournaments. I don't know. But it'll bring up Jackson McGraw. He's going to see the first pitch in for a strike.
Jackson's a freshman, quarterback on the football team, catcher and as well. He obviously plays JV as well as suits out. So
He's going to swing and miss. 0-2. Good swing right there. De La Cruz looks in, gets his sign, goes to the windup. Curveball foul back by McGraw.
good opportunity for a freshman up there
Yeah.
to get some varsity pitching at bat. So
Good to be able to see some pitching with some, varsity level breaking ball. Here's a 0-2. Foul back. I said De La Cruz has a pretty good little
Yeah.
breaking ball he's throwing in there.
stayed in there on it, got a piece of it.
No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here, top of 5. Here's the pitch. Foul back.
He's battling up
He
there.
is making contact.
There's Stewie.
Got a helmet on. Maybe he's going to get an AB.
He got a bat. Austin gave him a bat. So.
Gotta get somebody on.
He's
so
like, man, somebody, you guys got to get on now.
McGraw stands in there, takes a ball outside.
That's a good 0-2 take right there.
The ball is 2 strikes.
1 ball.
Oh, well, yeah, 1 ball. They don't have it up there yet. There's a curveball foul back.
Man, I thought that was going to hit him. That ball had a pretty sharp break on it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Can't really count on the scoreboard right now. He's all over the place.
They're about like everything else right now. Everybody's kind of waiting for this one to be over.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good AB there by McGraw.
Yeah. Fouled off some pitches.
Going to bring up Brody Dobbs, going to hit for Gabe Sod.
All right, Brandon Owen texted me in the last game, said Brody eats 6,000 calories a day.
He's not that big of a kid.
No.
There's a first pitch in for a ball.
He's wanting to get bigger, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't have a metabolism like we do, does he?
No. I don't think I could never eat 6,000 calories.
Foul ball is going to get out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I guess I could have eaten them, but it wouldn't have done me very well.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made me more athletic. It would have made me slow.
It hasn't hurt Brody because Brody's fast
He
and
is.
he's a strong-looking young guy. He's not real big, but till he's fit.
Here's a 1-1. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Colton Stewart is on deck. If Dobbs can get on. Here's the 1-1. It's a line shot over the shortstop's head. It's going to get down.
Boy.
Good piece of hitting there by Dobbs. Going to give Colton Stewart a chance here.
Everybody loves Stu. He's the perfect teammate kind of guy. He does everything, keeps the game changer. He's just whatever needs to be done. Perfect attitude, and, of course, crazy smart guy.
Dobbs over at first. Stewart in the box, ready. Takes the first pitch in for a strike. De La Cruz comes set. Fastball outside. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Way outside, gets past Crutcher, and Dobbs will stroll down to second base. Two balls, 1 strike.
$18 is on deck. Or 19. 19's on deck. You got the scorecard.
I'll get
Or
that.
the lineup card.
We're emptying it, so I need to get it out. Here's a 2-1, swing and a miss. 19 is Preston Wing.
So Preston's sitting here. Come on, Stewie, get on base.
2-2, 2 outs.
If something goes wrong, they will not get another chance after this inning. So
here's the pitch. Curveball in for strike. Nice job there by De La Cruz to flip a curveball in there and get the strikeout to end the inning. But the Tigers will head to the bottom of the 5th, needing 3 outs to put an end to this game as they lead at 14-0. We'll be right back.
All right, it's good. Bottom of the fifth here. Tigers try to get 3 outs and go home, and Brody Dobbs is going to be here to finish it up. Isaiah Miranda went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Pretty efficient outing right there. He faced, what is that?
Just
9 and 4, 13 batters.
Yep.
And 4 innings. 1 over the minimum.
Pretty good outing. You can't,
Yeah.
we talked about it, when he gets in trouble, it's with his control a little bit. And, he had a good night tonight in that category.
2 double plays in the game. First guy of the game got a base hit. And so he ended up facing 4 in the first. After that, it's 3, 3, and 3. So pretty good stuff right there. And Dobbs is going to come on and see if he can finish it out.
So Brody Dobbs will face Angel Montez to lead it off here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch in, low. Montez grounded out to Blake Phillips his first time up. He's going to take the second pitch low, so 2 balls, no strikes here. Dobbs low again, 3 balls, no strikes. Dobbs works a little bit faster than Miranda does. Even to fill up the strike zone, though. There we go. Nope, outside, ball 4. So he walks Montez on 4 straight.
First walk of the game, as we mentioned, so for the Tigers to give up. That's not something that Brody really does a lot, is walk guys. Of course, it's hard coming into a game with this kind of a lopsided score.
Yeah, and you just ran the bases, and, that was your first time in the game.
Don't know how much time he had really to warm up because he was on the bases.
I'm not sure he did. I didn't really see him warming up over there much. So Brody Burks up, takes the first pitch in for a ball.
That's why they switched him. They wanted him to go in at the DH spot to go in and pitch.
Yep.
So
1 ball, no strikes. It's low. 2 balls, no strikes. Got to make an adjustment here.
yeah, that's 6 balls in a row. Last thing coach wants to see in a game with this kind of lead is to make a pitching change and struggle with the strike zone. Get a double play ball here, Brody.
Here's the 2-0.
There you go.
That's him for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Burks hit the third his last time up.
Into a double play.
Yep.
Oh, actually, I guess he was on base.
There's a
Another strike.
strike.
Boy.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, he had a base hit.
Yeah, he got the base hit. Then got doubled up.
Yep.
I think he actually got called for interference.
Ooh, ball low, full count.
Man, that's
That
a
was
tight
close.
zone up there with a 14-0 game. Goodness gracious.
I'm not sure how you take that. But 3-2.
With 2 strikes, you probably shouldn't be. You'd be popping that foul.
Here's the 3-2. It's going to bounce in, and
Find the ball.
he's going to walk him. So that'll be the first 2 batters here in the 5th walks. The last thing you want to happen.
Yeah. I think you got a little help. Not Corbin Hall. He thought you were going to the mound here.
I guess that means it's something to remind him about something, not necessarily a physical tool, but a mental thing.
Yes. I think he got frustrated on that he was frustrated on the last pitch because he got balled on a pitch he thought was strike 3. So get him back in the right frame of mind here. Get the game over with. So.
Yes, brings up the DH, Hayden Ewing. There's a strike. Good job there by Dobbs. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off over the first base dugout. 0-2. So quickly ahead here. Dobbs is 0-2 after the mound visit.
Heath Autry.
There's
Yes,
a
sir.
swing and a miss. Struck him out on 3 pitches after 8 straight balls. He's going to come back and get or not 8 straight, but 2 walks in a row, come back and get the strikeout. So good job there by Brody.
A little pop on that
He
fastball,
did.
didn't he?
Little bit more juice on it.
Yes, sir.
Strike. First pitch strike to Austin Glidewell.
Found the sweet spot.
Just third baseman Easton Autry over. He's going to make a nice play over to first base to get the out. Good job there. Great play.
Pretty agile for the big guy right there. I mean, he's 6'4", plus.
Yeah.
And to be able to bend down there and make that play and throw it on the run, that big old body, it's a pretty good athleticism.
Great job, and I like the throw too.
Yes.
Good accurate throw. Brings up Jack Crutcher, catcher. He's the number 9 hitter for Kaufman Lions. So they'll at least get all their guys to bat twice.
Yeah. There's no hesitation in the throw either. It was confident.
Here's a 1-0 in for a strike, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Haven't seen a lot inside called, and I think he was able to keep it on that corner there.
Here's the 1-1. Ground ball, third base again. Easton Autry makes the play over to first. Easy play there by the third baseman, Easton Autry, to get the out and end the game. And the Tigers will end this one 14-0 as they come back after getting swept by Midlothian Heritage last week to respond with a 14-run spot, and really good response by the Tigers.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. You got 14 big runs, got your cushion early, got 3 in the first. You know, that's what you needed to have happen. You got that 3-run lead. Isaiah came out and was able to answer that with a 0. All the kind of the things you're hoping to see as a coach, you saw happen. And then you turned in 2 really big innings, and it's good stuff. So we'll see who Coach brings over. I got to think he's going to bring Easton over. You know, it's after the game he had, the big bomb and some hits, see what else he might do. But, again, the Tigers with 14 runs, I think it was 15 hits. Again, might have lost 1 or 2 along the way. They also left, 5 on base. So that's a pretty efficient night to get the 14 across and only leave 5. And a good night on the mound. You got no runs given up. You only gave up 3 hits. You had the 2 walks that Brody gave up. He was able to fight back from. So, again, a good night overall for the Tigers as they throw their own shutout here tonight. And put up a bunch of runs, scored 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. So.
Not too bad. And you know, you talk about the defense was clean. I mean, that's the key too. We saw a couple of lapses over the last couple of losses that we've had. And it's good to get back out here on this natural grass and dirt and to be able to make the plays.
Some really good plays tonight in the field, I think. Easton had 2 or 3 really, really good plays over there. Had to make some adjustments. And then Connor had a 1 or 2 as well. And you saw Blake with some plays over at second base. And, you know, from there on, it's just make the plays and do what you needed to do to win the ball game. So,
yeah, so, you know, took care of business tonight, and then you start thinking about Friday night now and really need this sweep. I mean, it's going to be important. And like we talked about before the game, we've seen some of their scores, so can't get lulled to sleep by this game tonight. You still got to come out and attack on Friday night.
You do, and because, you know, I'm not going to look ahead past Friday, but next week you got Midlothian. So top of the district, it's really a chance to do some damage if you can, you know, get the sweep this week and, you know, at least get a split next week with a team that is undefeated so far. And I would say they likely will be after tonight. They have Red Oak, but, again, Red Oak's is going to be competitive, so we'll see what happens. But, again, what a great answer tonight after a tough week last week against a really, really good team. And that's a team that reminded me of the teams when we were in those tough districts, when we were playing like Lone Star and you know, those teams like that. especially left and a lot of left-handed hitters. So yeah, with a lot of those kind of things, and so fortunately we had a chance to take care of our business tonight, and Heath Autry and his crew took care of that business here tonight, and Heath's coming up to join us here. Get him lined up. Well, Heath, congratulations. Your team did exactly what you needed to do. You got 3 scratch runs in the top of the first, and go out and put up a 0, and had a couple of big innings.
Yeah, I mean, getting out there scoring in the top of the first, that was big for us, kind of get that monkey off our back. But thought we did a pretty good job of controlling the strike zone. That pitcher had a pretty dirty split and threw some off-speed pitches in there that were was pretty good.
Yep.
So, we had some really good at-bats there in the third inning.
Well, Pancho had a really good night. He was faced, what?
One over the
minimum through 4 innings. Got 2 good double plays to get out of a couple of innings. He gave up 3 hits. The no runs. He had no walks, which I think is a big thing for him.
That's the first time he's ever started and didn't have any walks, so that's big. Have the wind blowing in, and I thought he made a lot of quality pitches, just missing even on his misses. I think he only missed bat a couple of pitches, but gave us a really good start and did his job, and we kept his pitch count good enough down to where he could throw again if we need him to.
Well, that's kind of the thing, too, we were thinking about is that he didn't have any walks, and that was a tight strike zone.
That was really tight.
I mean, it was very consistent, but it was very tight.
Yeah,
so
I thought he made some, Brody threw a couple pitches there that were close there at the end, too. But, it's part of it, as we know. But, overall, I mean, I thought we played really good defense, on a grass field and dirt field, and it's in decent shape, and I thought we played really good. Blake made a couple plays at second, and
Easton made some really nice plays at third as well.
Easton made a couple of good plays there, and made them look easy, and that's what we need to do is play with that confidence.
One thing, that bunt early in the second inning by Blake Phillips was I thought was a big key, and just getting the momentum going for everybody up and down the lineup. Sometimes you got to do something like that to get a guy going.
Yeah, Blake's been working hard. He's been struggling a little bit, but he's putting in his work and he's making adjustments, and he does everything right. So I'm a firm believer the game's going to pay him back, and when he gets on base, we got a good chance of scoring with the guys coming up behind him.
Well, it's starting off the third inning with a bomb. I mean, that ball was a rocket. It got out of here in no time. There was no doubt, regardless of the wind. And so that's a good way to start it off. And I know it had to lift some weight off of Easton's shoulders.
Yeah,
there.
it's been a while since he hit one, but to hit one into a 25-mile-an-hour wind, he got that one pretty good, I'd say.
Well, and you talked about hitting is contagious. Well, it was sure contagious tonight.
Yeah, and so is not hitting, and that's what we've talked about, and that's just baseball, and the beautiful thing is you get another game, and so that's why we jumped out there Saturday morning, and heck, we paid umpires and we put on uniforms and picked teams and we scrimmaged, and scrimmaged for a couple hours, and you got to have a short memory and shower well. That's what I told him. You mean you got to when you take a shower, it's over with, and so let's just move on and be the best we can the next pitch. And, we haven't played our best baseball yet, and, hopefully this is the start of it.
Well, Trenton got 3 big hits tonight, too. I think that's key. We talked a little bit about that last year. We saw a lot of that up the middle the other way with Trenton, and he did that tonight.
He's got to stay in control of himself. Amped up dude, and that's just who he is, and we talk about that. There's nothing wrong with that, but we got to be in control and execute a plan at the plate and not just up there hacking and when he does that, he's really good. He did it all year last year, in the playoffs, and when he stays in the middle of the field low and hard, he's a pretty good hitter.
Well, and again, you weren't just getting hits; you were barreling the ball up tonight. It was pretty up and down the order with that.
Yeah, I thought Sean had a big double down the third base line, and Gabe Gabe had a barrel there to left center, and Dobbs came in off the bench and got a good swing off, and the freshman McGraw comes in and has a 6-7 pitch at bat. I don't remember, but had a long at bat. I mean, I thought everybody did a good job. Mitch came in, got a base hit, first district hit for him, and he was being aggressive. The kid made a nice throw on him. But like you said, up and down the lineup all the way around, that confidence is kind of contagious, and played a little more relaxed tonight.
It kind of goes under the radar, but you think about Perkins. I mean, the leadoff dude hit.
Yep.
I mean, he started things off by getting hit by a pitch, but he had 2 big hits, and really he's a quiet leader because he did a lot tonight.
Yeah, Connor's Connor, man. I mean, he's a ball player, and so that we talk about being in control of ourselves, and the only time that Connor struggles is when he's trying to do too much and trying to be perfect instead of just being who he is. And we talk about it all the time, and we can talk about it till we're blue in the face. We just got to go out and do it.
Another guy that's probably been your best hitter in district is Jordan Temez, and tonight again, other opposite field double, and again, just when we've seen him be able to do that, and when he hits the ball and he gets to second base in a hurry.
Jordan has very good bat-to-ball skills, and so, when he's another guy, when he's in control of himself, seeing the ball well, I mean, he can spray the ball around the park. He's a guy that doesn't overswing very much, and so he's a pretty calm dude, and played a lot of baseball growing up, just like a lot of these guys, and so the moment don't get too big for him too often. But, he, like you said, he got a ball outside, drove that ball down the right field line for a double, and, he can run a little bit.
Well, it's fun to see, and, Friday nights, again, it's a new game. I mean, you scored 14 runs, 15 hits tonight, but, you don't get to carry any of those over, do you?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about trying to be on an even kill, not so. We don't need to score 14 and then score 1, It's just to kind of be on an even kill and focus on winning innings one pitch at a time and controlling the strike zone, swinging at good pitches, and doing our thing on defense, And we're going to keep plugging away in practice. We're going to have a good practice tomorrow and get after it, and we got some weather coming in, and Friday don't look very good at this moment. Hopefully we get a window, but if not, we'll push it back to Saturday and do what we got to do, So, we can't control the weather, but we can control our preparation, do the best we can to be ready to play whenever God makes it stop raining.
Well, the good thing is you got the field for it, so hopefully we can get that window to get the game in.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Heath. Congratulations. We'll bring up, a couple of guys here. All right, big fella. How'd that one feel?
Oh, it felt great. I mean, that was a great response coming back from last week. We got no hit Friday, which is really embarrassing, but we came out and we had 14, 15, something like that hits tonight.
Yeah, 15 hits.
It was a great – we put the barrel on the ball today. That was the best part about today.
Well, you sure put the barrel on one. How did that one feel?
Honestly, I didn't think it was going to go out because of how hard the wind was blowing, and it went over. I hit it really well. Back spun it pretty good, so I felt very good about it.
Well, there's no doubt on our side.
Yeah, we saw it all the way, but you also got another at-bat later in that same inning with the bases loaded, and I'd love what your approach there. You didn't overswing, get too excited there trying to hit a grand slam, but I don't know what it was off the barrel, but that was a hard hit ball out to right field.
Yes, sir. I mean, last week against Heritage, I probably overswing a little bit and got a little too excited. So today my approach was literally swing the bat like 60%. So I was trying to take the easiest swing possible so I can put the barrel on the bat.
Well, if I could swing that easy and hit one about 370 out there, I would too. So no, that was a nice bat. What about your team? I mean, you got a great job on the mound tonight from your guys, and good defense, including you on some good defensive plays. You ended a couple innings with some double plays.
Yes, sir. I mean, Poncho came out and gave us the best chance to win the game. I feel like he did the same last week. He kept it close. I mean, last week we made a few bad errors, but at the end of the day, I mean, we still have to hit the ball. Today, Poncho threw strikes just like he's been doing, locating the ball pretty good, giving us the best chance to win the baseball game. He got us some 2 balls, got us some fly balls. I mean, it was a great experience.
Well, Easton, congratulations. Big home run, couple of big hits. You had 3 RBIs there in the inning. Ended up with 3 hits on the night. So I think you got to be happy with that and ready to go on Friday night.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, man.
All right. Let's get Trenton in here. All right, Trenton.
What's up, y'all?
That's what we need to see out of you. Driving the ball up the middle hard like that. That was fun, huh?
I was just thinking, stay relaxed in the box and stay up the middle, because the past few weeks I've been real tense up there. I get up there and I take some really big long swings, fouling off balls, just fouling them off. I'll just try to stay simple today, hit it up the middle.
Worked out pretty good for you, huh?
It works when you just stay simple, stay calm in the box, not all jittery in there shaking.
We try to make it more complicated than we need to sometimes, right?
I always get in the box. I was thinking today before the game, I was like, I just gotta stay calm, just take my swing, and I'm gonna do good.
And you did. You had 3 big hits, a lot of RBIs on the game. So good job, and get this team rolling and get ready to go for Friday, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait for Friday. It's gonna be a fun night at home. Prairie Perk pitching. That's gonna be a great game. I know he's gonna throw a great game for us. So is Ponch. Is always throwing great games. Our defense looked really good tonight.
Yes.
Really good. Playing really good. I didn't really get to make much plays, but hey, I'm good standing.
You made up for it at the play, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as when you're in the outfield and you don't get to make many plays, a lot of times that means your pitcher's doing well, and he was tonight.
Poncho was always doing well, man. Always throws strikes. He always comes out with, he's always excited. I love watching him pitch. I love it.
Well, he did a great job tonight. No walks, and always gives yourself guys a chance. Your infield made some great plays. So
our infield looking good today. Nothing really getting through. Perk looked good. Blake looked good. Houston looked pretty good, except for trying to barehand one.
He's big leaguing it. It's really the only chance because that was a good bunt. But
I like it. I wish he would have made it.
Good stuff, man. All right, Trent. Keep it up on
Good
Friday.
Job,
all right.
Sir.
Keep it up, man.
All right, Trent Bruton. Good job tonight, he and Easton Autry. So Tigers win here tonight, 14-0. Be back on Friday night in Corsicana for a big one. What are your final thoughts here, Stephen, before we get on the road?
Well, I think it's exactly what we needed to do. Come out here and put up some runs after last week. I know Coach talks about flushing it or to shower it off and it's on to the next one. But until you have a game like this, it's hard to drop those thoughts about last week. But when you do have a game like this, it's much easier to move on and say, hey, that's behind us. We're on a roll now, and let's get that going.
All right. Well, we'll be back with you on Friday night as Corsicana will take on Kaufman again here from Price Field. So come on out. Be a great game. 7 o'clock, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully the rain will allow. Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned to Facebook or wherever.
Facebook, Twitter, whatever. You'll have the updates out there, and we will be ready to go from Price Field, and we'll have it for you whenever that is. Hopefully it's Friday.
Yeah.
So we'll let you know. But we'll get going. Tigers win here tonight. They go to 4-3. Keep pace is what they need to do here, and need to take care of business on Friday night to do that and get ready for the following week. But, again, we appreciate you here on Corsicana Tiger Sports Network. Adam doing a great job getting you up and running here and getting you all the good video, and he'll have the recording up for you here shortly. So we appreciate you. We'll be back on Friday, and we'll have the pregame around 6:45, 6:50, and then first pitch at 7, assuming weather cooperates. So until that time, we wish you all a good night. God bless, and go Tigers.